We're going to factor this polynomial completely as we know how. I'm looking here at the fact that the first one has a 5 in it, so I was kind of hoping maybe I could take out a 5, but I can't. However, 15, there's a 3 in there. 72, if I add the 7 and the 2, I get a 9, and 3 goes into 9, so 3 goes into 72. And if I add the 1 and the 8, that's a 9, so 3 goes into that as well. I'm thinking that 3 will come out. And also, each one of these I can take an x out, right? So let's do that first. First thing, we'll say I'm going to take out a 3 and an x. So what's left behind? Well, I have a 5, and I still have x to the 4th, minus the 3 comes out of the 72, and I get a 24. 24 times 3 is 72. And one of the x's comes out, so now I have x squared. And then minus 3. Let's see, how many comes out of there? What is it, 36? I think it's 36. Yes, 36. And the x is gone as well. Okay, so now I just check over my work a little bit to see if there's anything I missed. 5 would come out of the first one, but it won't come out of the next two. Okay. So we were kind of hoping to see this in quadratic form, but it's not. I mean, it is, but it's not. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to say, let's substitute u for x squared, okay? So that means that u squared is equal to x to the 4th, right? Okay, so let's go ahead and substitute. We'll say 3, let me just say 3x for now on the outside. I'm thinking about the inside. 5 u squared minus 24 would just be 24. Would just be u for the x squared, and then minus 36. Main thing is I'm going after the inside. So I guess I could say something else on the outside, but I'm just going to leave it as x. So now it'd be nice if it was a perfect square or something, but it's not. So I think I'm going to use the ACB method, and I'm going to say 5 times negative 36, a times c. That's going to be negative 180. So I want factors of negative 180 that add up to 24. Oh, negative 24. Okay. So in this case, the AC is that part right there. And the B, there's the B. Okay. So let's start thinking. Factors of 180. Well, obviously it's not going to be, I'm going to have the big numbers be negative 180 and 1. That's not going to get it done. And positive 1, meant to say. So that'd be negative 179. No deal. Okay, half of 180 is negative 90 there, and we're going to say times 2. If I add those together, I'd get negative 88. So we're still a long way from 24. 3, I know that 3 is a factor, and that would be a negative 60 that goes with the negative 3. So I'm getting a little closer, negative 57. I know that 4 is a factor. 4 and 45, if you've ever taken geometry. 4 and negative 45, that would give me a negative 41. And let's see here. How about something else? There's 5, yeah, 5 goes in. Well, 5 and 36, we knew that from up here. So we'd say 5 and negative 36. We're getting closer. We're getting closer. Hopefully yours won't be this big, right? So negative 30, there we go. There we go. That's negative 24. That's the one we were looking for. You don't have to go through all of them, but I'm going through all of them to try to make it as clear as possible. So I'm going to say, I'm focusing in on this part right here, and I'm going to say 5u squared. I guess I'll just put the 30 first. 30u plus 6u minus 36. And just to review, negative 24u is the same thing as negative 30 and positive 6, right? I just rewrote the middle term. And let's see, what shall we do? We'll say, for this first one, I know that a u will come out and also a 5 will come out. So we'll say 5u, what's left? U minus 6 is left. And then I'll say, what can come out here? And I'll say, well, the positive 6 will come out. And I'll have u minus 6. Okay, so now I can write it like this. I can say, the u minus 6, obviously, I want that one. So I'm going to say u minus 6. And then I'll take the leftovers. I'll say, what are the leftovers? Here we go. This one right there and this one right there. And I'll say 5u plus 6. Okay, now let me write this again, now that I have it down to this version. And I suppose I should check to make sure, FOIL that out, see if you get the same thing, and we do. So let's write it out the way it should be. We had 3x out in the front. Now remember, u is equal to x squared, right? All right, so let's go ahead and write that way. We'll say x squared minus 6, okay, and 5x squared plus 6. And then we think to ourselves, is this a perfect square? Is that a perfect square? No, that's not a perfect square. So, I mean, I could try to say 2 and 3 make 6 and things like that, but I'm not going to be able to factor that without getting the middle term. So it appears that I am finished. And if I were to multiply that all together, I should get back to where I started, which is up here. I should get back to where I started. And a quick check, just to see, is to multiply the constants. If I had 3x times negative 6 and positive 6, I would get that. Okay, so that's a good check there. And then let's see, what else could I check real quick? I could say 3x times x squared times 5x squared, and that would give me 15x to the 5th if I did that. So I'm liking my answer. I could multiply it all the way out if I were really worried. Okay.